Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We've played through the first day of the XenoThreat playtest, that new set of events and dynamic missions that Cloud Imperium are bringing with 3.12.1, and I wanted to talk about how it plays, what you're supposed to do in it, as well as my thoughts on issues that it had, what it needs for balance, and all that sort of jazz. So, when the XenoThreat mission is active, when you're on the server, you'll be contacted. Literally, it will come up a little audio message that the event's on, you can join. There's a new mission in your general priority missions in your mobiGlas contract manager. Just as a side note, be sure to also accept the call to arms mission because you might get some more money as well by taking out pirates. This is a system-wide mission, the XenoThreat mission, that I believe that anyone can join throughout the mission. So it doesn't matter in what stage the mission's in, it doesn't matter how long it's been there. I'm not 100% sure if there are criminal restrictions on being able to take that mission, but I would expect so. At least eventually there will be restrictions based on reputation and criminality, so criminals will not be able to take that sort of missions, which makes sense. Expect to see a lot of players working together, even if you don't know them, because it is a server-wide mission, anyone can join at any point. You'll now want to set a waypoint and fly to Jericho on your star map. It's pretty close to Microtech, although there is a nearby rest stop as well, which it's worth stopping at to set as your respawn point. The first part of the mission has you travelling to Jericho, and then basically going to a nearby area, a nearby crash and wreck site in a little gas cloud where there are a load of Starfarer wrecks. And basically what you're trying to do here is take the cargo from the Starfarer wrecks and take it back to Jericho. So you'll need to clear the Starfarer wrecks of the pirates that are inside them. So there are FPS pirates inside. So this wreck site's around 500 to 600 kilometers from Jericho, and there are multiple Starfarer wrecks in it. And you will need to clear out the pirates in all of them to complete one of the mission objectives. You'll also need to find the correct entry point in each of the wrecks. So basically, this is different for each of them. Some of them have busted doors or rubble in the way, so you'll need to gain entry, and then you'll need to get to the cargo area, is the idea in the Starfarer. Basically, as soon as you got to the balcony, you know that you're on the right path because you can jump over the balcony. But you'll probably want to clear the pirates out first that are downstairs in the cargo area, at least in my experience, that's where they are currently. You'll then, after you've cleared those pirates out, you'll want to open the cargo doors in the Starfarer. There's a little generator next to a door panel by the cargo doors, and you'll literally be able to interact with that. Bam! That will open the cargo bay doors. So now you have a load of cargo in cages and a nice path outside to take it to a cargo ship. So you can interact with the buttons on the cages to release the cargo, and then there are 3 types of cargo here, and you need to take a load of them back to Jericho. There's timed, explosive, and quantum sensitive cargo. They each look visually different, but have a display showing what they are on top. The green glowing one is time sensitive cargo, showing its stability. As you can see, a percentage of stability there. It's only basically usable for a few minutes before it becomes useless. It's a reasonable amount of time. You can get a load in a ship before you need to start travelling back to Jericho, and you can quantum travel from the wrecks to Jericho. The blue one is explosive. If your ship takes too much damage or you ram into something, you can expect these to explode. The ball in the cylinder is quantum sensitive cargo. This very clearly states it on top as well. You cannot carry this cargo in quantum. You cannot quantum travel with this cargo as it's supposed to explode. I haven't actually tried that because I was like, oh, I'm not going to quantum travel with it in my cargo hold. So you'll have to ferry that all the way back to Jericho with your traditional engines. And you need to take these cargo boxes, land at Jericho, and then use the trade terminal there to sell the cargo to them. That's with all 3 types of cargo. It is a collaborative effort with everyone else though, so anyone contributing to that will up the number of cargo boxes that have been contributed. Things to note about the cargo portion of this mission. XenoThreat attacks in waves around the actual Starfarer wrecks, so bear that in mind. You will need people to protect people while they are getting the cargo onto their ships. XenoThreat targets cargo-carrying ships as well, and can attack the ships on the way back to Jericho. So you may need at least 1 or 2 ships to cover the ships that are taking that cargo back. XenoThreat with an Idris can assault the docked Javelin while it's at Jericho. Now, this is quite important because if that Javelin takes too much damage throughout the event, it will become failed or withdrawn. So That is your fail condition, basically, if the Javelin is overly damaged. You will get a warning when the XenoThreat force sort of assaults Jericho, so you'll either need to respond quickly or have people there. Now, obviously, you're going to want to be as efficient as possible with this sort of mission, because doing it as quickly as possible is sensible, I suppose. But yeah, you'll need people to basically be protecting Jericho, wreck sites, and cargo ships, or being responsive enough to be able to jump in and move around quickly. Damaging the XenoThreat Idris when they assault Jericho will cause them to retreat, though. So that's how you get rid of that Idris. And it is supposed to retreat at that stage if it attacks while the Javelin is docked. So you will need to clear all of the Starfarer wrecks of pirates that are within the gas cloud, I believe, for that actual next stage of the mission to move on. So you need to take all the cargo across, you need to clear all the wrecks, and you need to make sure you have protected the Javelin. This will then basically activate the Javelin, and it will be able to leave the dock and fire. It is a beast of a ship, and a large XenoThreat fleet will then attack, and you'll have to take out their Idris and their ships. So the Javelin will join you in that fight. However, if it gets overly damaged still, it will need to retreat, and that will result in a failed or withdrawn mission still. So some other points of note. The Javelin does not like you getting too close, be that in EVA or shipwise, at least when it's in dock. I was damaged by it. I was zoomed away from it when I tried to leave, when my ship was too close, because I was trying to jank and glitch into it to try and steal it, but that seemed pretty hard to do. I suspect you could damage it, potentially, to try and steal it, although I think that will get pretty quickly fixed if there is a way of stealing it by Cloud Imperium. You'll get paid based on your participation with the mission, be that moving cargo and selling it, or actually just getting involved with the combat. So whatever you're doing, you are going to be earning credits, is the idea. That said, I haven't actually explored exactly what it's worth doing, and if there are a lot more Alpha UEC to be made doing certain things rather than others. And it's going to get balanced for sure for the live build, but how balanced we don't know. How generous a payout we're going to get, well, I hope it's very generous, because they're going to want to incentivize players to do this sort of thing. During the playtest, you are kind of fighting against the clock as well, because there was only a 3-hour window to do the mission, and we don't know if XenoThreat is going to have a hard time associated with it mission-wise, beyond if the Javelin takes too much damage, it's a fail. Some of my thoughts on this are, it's pretty cool, but too slow if you're just on a random server and only a few people interested in doing the event at the time. However, with an org, it's focused and efficient. Me and Zin joined up with synchronizers for this playtest and gave little tiny bits of advice on some of the experience that we may have had with it, but there is a huge amount of fun in learning how to do things like this efficiently. Like someone said during the event as well, it's like clearing a WoW World of Warcraft boss for the first time. You want to sort of learn what's going on, you want to get efficient at it, and that's part of the fun, that's part of the game, that's part of the learning experience of it. Some people, yeah, they're going to want to know exactly what to do and follow it to like a military commando and go, bam, just tell me what to do, I will do this like a soldier, bam, 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 bam. Other people, they want to learn it and get more and more efficient at it. It does need refinement, this game mode, at the moment, for sure. My frame rate was terrible. Ugh, my PC was struggling. I cannot wait for my graphics card and CPU to finally arrive so I can actually finish building my new PC. I've been waiting for months after ordering them. That is a whole other rant though. But yeah, the performance around the wreck sites especially is terrible at the moment, and it seems to be client-side for the most part. The servers were pretty stable. We did have a 30k crash at pretty much at the very end of the playtest, so the fact we were able to play for 2+ hours without a crash, that's pretty good. I'm not sure how stable it is for everyone else, but I didn't hear anyone complaining when there was 40 people on the server. I didn't hear anyone complaining of crashes, other than potentially Warbot, the leader of Synchronizers, who did crash out. It seems to be common for him, unfortunately. It's hard to tell if the amount of boxes is too many to transport or not. I don't really know at the moment. I think I would prefer less boxes and more action, personally, but playtesting over a limited time is actually different from how it would play out over a longer period, and yeah, maybe that's fine over a longer period, do it over several hours on a server chill. And that's one of the things about this as well, like, if you're an organised group of players, like maybe 20, 25 plus of you, and you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to do this pretty quick, this event, a couple of hours, yeah? I would expect. But and people are going to learn to be pretty efficient and quick at this, but some people are going to want to play in smaller groups and not have to worry about being in an org. or a large org, and those large orgs certainly have an advantage for sure at the moment. So I want to see how they think about that and how they balance that. So this is a larger point I probably want to address as well: griefers and PvP players. So in one of the servers I jumped into, I went to the rec sites and had a look around and took out some of the XenoThreat guys and cleared out the errors. And there was a few randoms on the server. There wasn't an org on this server as far as I was aware. There was a few random groups. So they were starting to move the cargo across, and a PvPer turned up, Space Cutlet, declaring it was Cutlet threat, and started attacking the players there. Now, I'm not going to PvP shame people that want to PvP, even in playtests or whatever, because it might be a little annoying, mainly because in this particular situation it was a playtest for an event that was, for the most part at the moment, PvE, but it did highlight some very important points. PvP is going to be a thing, so maybe a counter mission for criminal players. However, there needs to be in-game systems to not allow player opposition to the event to ruin it or make it unviable. That's what you want. You want to go, if there are PvP players, give them a reason to PvP and make it so that they cannot just ruin the event. So I want to see systems in place that hinder criminal and PvP players around that event. That would be welcome. Whether that's UE security being able to turn up or constantly quantum interdict them around that area. So just slow those PvP players down. Have the UE Navy on high alert around that area. Keep on pulling ships out of quantum, especially if they've got criminal ratings. A quantum dampening field, stopping criminal players moving around so easily around there, might be a good idea. Maybe incredibly aggressive criminality and fine penalties as well, things like that. Just some form of in-game systems for it are necessary in my opinion. Otherwise, you're going to have someone turn up and shoot at cargo ships, constantly detonating the explosive cargo and lolling off into the distance, being able to do that really, really easily. Now, this just means that orgs will have to fill servers. And if they fill a server, then they're not going to get a griefer. But do you see what I mean? And then servers where it isn't full, you could quite often get someone that just wants to turn up and ruin things. At least give PvPers a reason to do that and to participate in a different way. And then take that into account for people wanting to help the UE as well. So the difficulty balance. Neither side should be able to just walk in and go GG easy. What I would like to see most is a reason for PvPers to disrupt rather than ruin. So maybe PvPers are just trying to attack the Javelin or raid Jericho maybe, or as I said, maybe it's really restrictive for ships to move around in that area if they've got a criminal rating. If you want it to be a PvE event, then restrict criminal PvP players with a low reputation in that area. There's a load of things you can do to go, well, this player has a really low rep, so they're probably going to cause trouble, and they keep getting pulled out of quantum or whatever. Another concern is, how replayable will this mission be? Will there be some variance each time? Is the payout good enough for me to want to grind it? Is it too prohibitive to play without an org? I mean, because it's so much more efficient to do with an org and you can avoid griefers, I mean, you could just max out the server, boom, easy game. I'd like single players and small groups to want to actively jump into this mission and know that there is a good chance that they can complete it and it will be fun for them. I also want orgs to know that if they haven't got a full org with them, that other people are going to come and help them as well. A cool social event. Also, I suppose what I'd like to see is the Javelin, maybe it just becomes active after a certain amount of time, no matter how much of the cargo you've brought to it, but it's less effective. It's like, well, it hasn't got much ammo, or it's damaged, or whatever, unless you fully fill it up with cargo. Maybe? Question mark? Just throwing some random ideas out. Servers were knocked down to 40 players for the playtest, but I would expect it probably to be back up for 50 for the live build. But what do you think? Have you taken part in that XenoThreat event yet? There is another playtest at 8 PM UTC Sunday the 24th of January, and you can expect more potentially next week as well, leading up to a 3.12.1 release. What would you like to see change for the event? What are your thoughts on PvPing and counter missions? Should this be much more focused on PvE and have restrictions to it? Should it be opened up to PvP but then balanced for it? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For January 2021, we're giving away 5 different ships to 5 different randomly chosen winners. We're giving away a 100i, a 125a, a 135c, as well as a couple of birdie boys, the Talon and the Shrike variant. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning is comment on any of my videos made during January. That's it, although I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed. I also shill for NordVPN. They protect your datas and your informations from people that are trying to data intercept it with a Herald or Mercury Star Runner. You see how I built that into Star Citizen based lore. As in, animate a little radar dish or a Mercury Star Runner stealing someone's data, and then NordVPN somehow blocking that. But if you are looking for a VPN, NordVPN is a very affordable VPN that can get you better access to the internet, help keep you secure and protected, and help you maintain your privacy. Links down below for a discount on Nord. Also, if you wish to further support the channel, there's Patreon, there's a join button below my videos. The extra money that we get from that helps support the channel massively. Thank you so much to those VIPs that go the extra mile to do that. I also like people quite a lot that share, like, and subscribe and comment on my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.